Hi everyone, Josh Guest here. Bitcoin has been hailed across the industry as freedom money that is resistant to both censorship and confiscation. The importance of these characteristics is growing stronger as governments are seeking to control more of their citizens' lives and livelihoods. Money is an essential tool in life since it allows us to convert our time with relative ease into goods and services that we need to survive. Do we really want such an important tool in the hands of biased and power-hungry intermediaries? I think not. That said, there are those in government and on Wall Street who are actively trying to limit Bitcoin's appeal as stateless money. And one of their more frequently used attacks is against privacy and fungibility on the Bitcoin blockchain. One of your fellow readers recently shared an article with me that spoke at length about the idea that Bitcoin are supposedly not as fungible as most people believe. To summarize the relevant facts, the author indicated that Bitcoin may not be fungible because of the following reasons. The Bitcoin blockchain is completely public and transparent. All transactions are visible forever, which means that Bitcoin's history, whether good or bad according to world standards, sticks around until the end of time. Exchanges and miners are being pressured by governments to blacklist Bitcoin transactions and addresses who engage in privacy-enhancing behavior like using coin joins, as if privacy were somehow illegal. And so-called dirty Bitcoin can't always be easily used on certain exchanges, meaning that for all intents and purposes, they aren't fungible with clean Bitcoin on those exchanges. We can begin to understand the gravity of this situation, since having two classes of Bitcoin severely limits its ability to serve as freedom money for the whole world. Privacy is definitely of paramount importance, but mostly to people who actually want or need it. Let's discuss some counterpoints about Bitcoin's fungibility. Number one, Bitcoin is more private than you've been led to believe. Rest assured, privacy is available on the Bitcoin blockchain for those who want it. In fact, the majority of Bitcoin transactions aren't actually public at all. How so? Well, most Bitcoin transactions don't take place on the Layer 1 blockchain. They take place inside Layer 2 solutions like the Lightning Network and within crypto banks and cryptocurrency exchanges. Crypto banks and exchanges aren't exactly publishing transactions that happen inside their ecosystems to the internet. And even though governments may be able to peel back the layers of secrecy on certain transactions, it's not a given that they can do that for all transactions. The Lightning Network, on the other hand, is even more private and secure since there's typically not a centralized intermediary involved. Two participants are simply sending Bitcoin back and forth amongst themselves, or perhaps routing their Bitcoin across a few Lightning nodes to loop in someone else. Participants and node operators have some visibility into the transactions, but no one else typically does. Long story short, with most Bitcoin transactions happening off-chain, it's going to be a lot harder to impact Bitcoin fungibility than critics want you to believe. Number two, most people don't actually care about transaction history. The article identified two main choke points for dirty Bitcoin: miners and exchanges. First off, miners are hardly a choke point at all. The article mentions a handful of miners who have refused to process transactions in the past they believed included dirty Bitcoin. But that's irrelevant because it leaves aside the fact that anyone can confirm transactions on the Bitcoin blockchain. Someone is going to process the undesired transaction sooner rather than later for the simple reason that they just want to earn the associated transaction fees. Next up are exchanges, which are really only choke points until people stop using them. And people will stop using them, or at least will stop using them quite as frequently, once Bitcoin assumes its rightful place as the primary money used around the world. Once Bitcoin is accepted as money rather than being used purely for speculation by so many people, there will be a lot fewer people trying to trade out of Bitcoin into fiat currencies or altcoins. The most important thing to remember is that most people simply don't care about a Bitcoin's transaction history. They just want to pay or be paid, and they'll accept your Bitcoin without a second thought, no matter what the government says about it.